16. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday.
It was basically a brief meeting, and most of it was centered around our debate and election. We had a few remarks from the chairman. December 12th, we had our African Cinema Day at Hostess Community College. Burkina Faso had their celebration on December 12th as well. And they were also looking to expand their membership. We had an announcement for our newest little member, Amina, Fatina's daughter. And then Ambrose's grandfather was also appointed, was appointed to the Lincoln Hospital Board. So the results for the election, which happens biannually, Secretary, myself, which was unanimous. Liaison was Richard. Vice Chair, we had Pacina, Milkina, and Maury, and our winner was Maury. Charles was also unanimous for the chairman.
We're glad of some of the good work that he's doing in the community, and it's always good for us to stay engaged and keep our communication open. On my report, I will try to be brief, but it's very hard because we have a lot of appointments, and I'd like to recognize these folks. As mentioned, for Secretary, we have Angela. She's been playing Secretary here, Secretary there, so she's been doing a good job. Pacina Bula Bula, she's still up here. For our social committee, we have Ambrose. You all know Ambrose. Our interfaith committee, Dr. Body, stay on board. Our newest chair for the arts and culture, Miss Linda, the very talented Miss Linda Wasi. For our economic development committee, we have Fatima Diallo.
I don't know about that. I'm from the health department. Thank you very much.
Thank
nice
you.
to be here.
So we formed a health and wellness task force. Very first task force, and we have folks that are in the health field to lead it, so I'd like to recognize them. And Sally, who recently got her nursing degree, so please give us a double round. One of the things that we put a focus on, because the council is growing, and through the board president's help, our council has become bigger, and oftentimes what we discuss here in the Bronx impact the rest of New York City. And it was important for us to get information out to the community to make sure that they're aware of the great work we're doing, but also the information that we have to share. And therefore we decided to buffer up our media committee. And as we all know, Dom, where's Dom? Please give Dom a round of applause. Where's Nima? Please give him a round of applause. Incarcerated, and it's not good for our community, it's not good for our future. So we've had several meetings to put together this Young Men Initiative to target our young population. And one of the persons we brought on board was Siddiqui Dunzo. He did some work with President Obama. He was very active in there. Where's Siddiqui? One of the co-chairs of the task force. And we needed to bring on a seasoned member of the community, and I don't really need to introduce this young man because all the youth in the community knows him. I call him Coach. I'm continuing. Coach, please. So those are your executive board members. We're missing one or two, but I called in and they said they'll be a little late. And one of them couldn't find a babysitter this evening, but Mariama, she's on the board and she's been very active. Moving on to the next announcement, I'd like to congratulate my Vice Chair, Maurice Sally.
I want to give you an advice here. I've been married, I've been with my wife 26 years. Okay? This is the word of advice. Okay, whatever you say. It's okay, whatever you say. That's it.
That's the word.
I'm sorry.
No. As a member, one of the things is always saying, bring a friend. So when you come to these meetings, grab a friend, because you never know what you can get out of it as we all share information. But I'd like to allot the rest of my time to our board president. I know he has a message, and please give him a round of applause.
I'm not going to take too long here. I wanted to come by and sort of reaffirm my commitment and my resolve and my support for this advisory council. I think that it's been working. I may not come to all the meetings, but I have to tell you that I'm proud of this council. I'm proud of the chairman, proud of the work that you've been able to do. I'm proud that when I go out throughout the city of New York, I get people who approach me and they say, you got to speak to my borough president, whatever other borough, so they can do the same thing that you guys are doing in the Bronx. The fact is that when you look at the African community, the West African community, it's not just growing in the Bronx, it's growing throughout the city of New York. And this council has served as a paradigm for the amount of dialogue and the organization that so many people outside of our borough are looking for. Is life perfect? Absolutely not. Could we all do more? Absolutely. But over the last year, in 2015, about what's happening in our borough. Number one, while the rest of the city has saw an increase in major violent crime categories, don't take my word for it, go to ComStat, we have seen a decrease. So when you look at homicide, when you look at shootings and shooting victims, the city has seen they want to speak down and vilify and talk bad about the immigrant. In the Bronx, we have benefited. And that means Bangladeshi, that means Dominicans, that means Mexicans, that means Albanians, and yes, it means West Africans and Africans. And so as a borough president, I'm so proud of that. I'm proud that we've been able to create over 7,000 units of housing in 2015 alone, more than 17,000 over the last 6 years. I'm glad that we've been able to do it in a green, sustainable way. I'm so proud of the fact that we continue to open up more and more amenities in our borough, from the High Bridge, which is something that the whole city read about and is speaking about, and more people are coming here. In fact, tourism was up last year 14%. And I'm not just talking about Yankee Stadium, I'm not just referring to the Botanical Garden or the Bronx Zoo. Many of our restaurants are the beneficiary of that spike in tourism. And the best is yet to come. And yeah, we had dark moments last year. And when you speak of crime, crime done to one person is one too many. One individual losing their life is one too many. I understand that. Look what happened to our borough around Legionnaires. Legionnaires is something that, Mr. Chairman, the one area that I cannot brag about is that of health. Because Legionnaires was the end product, the end result of the fact that far too many of our folks suffer so many different health ailments. And Legionnaires exacerbated their condition, and we lost about 13 people, and we had over 130 that were sick. So we have to work collectively of not a nickel. And we thank you for your service. But if the fact that you're here, the fact that you know that you're not getting paid, leads me to believe that you want to work for the community. And not just the African community, because I'll be the first to say that the African community has arrived, and as goes your community, as goes this community, goes the entire Bronx. So if we're doing well because you're helping us do well. But we have to do better. And so we can clap, we can wear our suits, we could do our nails, we could do our hair. But if you accepted the responsibilities that you've been given by this board and this advisory council, then you have to take it seriously. And I know and I believe in my heart that you will. If you accepted this responsibility, that means that we all gonna have to do it together. That means that we will disagree, but we have to do it in a way where it's respectful. We have to grow this council. The chairman says it's like church, bring a friend, bring 5 friends. Bring 5 friends. Let me know what it is that I should be doing. It's because of this council that we've been able to increase the number of members in the local community boards. It is because of this council that we've been able to reach out to certain small businesses in your communities through the Bronx Over Economic Development Corporation. But I know I have to do more. I know that we can do more. I know that we have to do more with regards to our youth. So I look forward to working with youth and having Monica Major and Lucy Resio. You all know Tracy. Are we doing enough to have you participate in our job fairs and job screening? Because we've been doing a lot of that, and job placement. And if you know, it takes a lot of coordination. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm here to stop by and just say Happy New Year, give my little annual report, but also to let you know that I'm fine with you challenging me. I'm fine with this advisory council challenging me into doing much more. I'm equipped, I'm prepared, my heart is in the right place, and with that said, if there are any questions, if there's any comments, any criticisms, I'm fine, that's what I'm here for, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Once again, thank you again for stopping by and giving your annual report. We understand that in order for our community to move forward, it has to be a collaborative effort. And one of the reasons why the executive board expanded is because we realized we'll move forward on. And as always, we know we have your support. We're grateful and we're looking forward to working with you 2016, 2017, and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, what I would like for you guys to do is to put a database of people and their skill set and resumes. To start collecting that database, start giving it to Tracy, so that as people approach, so I would hope that you start putting that database together.
We'll take a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, the Borough President of the Bronx. I'm personally proud of you.
Thank you.
On behalf of all Africans. I live in Manhattan, but I waste no time coming here to join with these people here, because the African adage says, the eye is friendly to that which is good. That's why I come here. And I wish we have people like you in this position who are doing what they are doing in all the boroughs. Because if all goes well for this borough, if all goes well for Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn, it all goes well for the whole state. And it will have set an example for the whole country. We thank you for making it possible for all the new immigrants to set their aspirations, and your government is trying so hard, day by day, to make those aspirations a reality. Thank you very much.
Tournament organized by the NYPD United, and actually for 5 years, this you've been getting the trophy. You remember when we took for the 4th time? I don't know the 4th time. Now we took the 5th time now. So we're trying to organize some some party for the young guys to give them some award. And those who started from 5 years up to today, that will get a trophy. We just want to have on the 16th. We just want to have them. We've already told Tracy. She said she's going to give us a certificate, and we're trying to give them some awards so that we can encourage the coming on youth to know what we're dealing with them.
I'm sorry, coach, right?
Yeah.
When you say we, is this who's we? What, yeah, what is it a non-profit? Are you registered?
We are members of the advisory district council.
But are you registered as a non-profit with the sport?
Yes, we're registered.
Or is it under?
It's the African Youth.
Yeah.
What's it called, the African Youth?
Yeah.
It's not under the
That's
AAC.
right.
Yeah, the African diaspora. Yeah, we're members.
But is this registered as a non-profit?
You have a nonprofit?
Yeah,
Like the 501c3 status?
Yeah, on the kids, because when we look at the kids, they've been doing work for 5 years. We didn't do nothing for them. So now we're just organized to give them some award to encourage the upcoming ones so that they will match up in what we're doing with those who have just left the field and with the new ones to come in. And more of the time, again, we try to put them scholarship on other things that they might be good in the school field. So we just want the boss to know what is going on this year.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. To add on this issue, I just want to add something. Maybe the Bronx Borough office has done a lot for those youth. This soccer tournament, I think we received at least 4 certificates from your office. Each year, Tracy is doing a good job. She is the one who sending certificate for the youth since past 4 years. This will be the 5th year we're celebrating this. We left an envelope at your office.
How do you finance this?
Nancy's from here. Yes. Oh, how we finance it?
How do you finance it?
The financially, we don't have any help from the board, the contribution.
That should be your next step. That's what you should be asking. Tracy, let's talk about this. Let's see. No promises, Mr. Chairman, but let's see where we can be helpful. But we have to find some corporate sponsors or something, because what you do, and that's the reason why we've been so helpful. But I like the work that you guys have been doing with these tournaments. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question.
First, thank you so much for the tremendous job. I know you have done a lot for our community. There's a lot to see how you doing. Thank you so much. My question has to do with, there's a lot of professionals in the African community, and those professionals, we have to find a place for them where they belong. They can better up our community tomorrow, especially the African in the diaspora. So my question has to do with it, especially in the schooling district aspect. A lot of children in the schooling district, they have been mentored by other people from other ethnicity, not Africans. So my advice to your office is that if you take that into consideration, is to find some Africans that will serve as mentors in those schooling in order for African kids in school not to drop off from school. Because a lot of Africans are dropping off from school because they does not understand the ideology behind what other culture are portraying to them. So I would advise for Africans that live in the diaspora to serve as a mentor to those Africans in the foreign schooling system, if the office can take that into consideration.
So let me ask you this question.
Yes,
when you say serve as a mentor, particularly to African youth.
Right.
So we can work on that with Monica Major and the school system. But I'll tell you one thing that we can automatically start off the bat. Have you ever heard of the program Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Right.
So one of the things I'm embarrassed about is that I think it's an excellent program, but the majority of the youth in the city of New York who receive a big brother or big sister, right? So they have like thousands of youth all over the city. The majority of the youth are Bronx youth. The smallest amount of marriage with an African youth, but it could be other youth in the Bronx as well. That's something that we need tremendous support because it's almost not fair. Like we have this much of the kids and we have this much of the mentor, right? And it's like, it's embarrassing when you see the numbers. But this is something that we can work on with Monica Major, but Tracy will connect you, okay?
Okay. So we have one last question.
And by the way, I'm sorry. These again, going back, get me resumes too. You know, let's put some of these.
Specifically from Liberia. And I just a little bit confused, and I want to clarify that for me. I'm very proud to be with the African Council and to serve within the African Council. I'm very proud. And it's due to the fact that I work in the school system for 12 years now, and also the founder and CEO of Vision for Children in Liberia. And that organization was founded based on the Ebola crisis that we have. So what I basically do, I'm removing kids from the street that was victimized by the Ebola crisis back to school. And I also serve New York City. We're brand new, we've just been 1 year in existence since the organization was founded before I came to the council. But I just want to know from you, because I've been keeping track of you a lot, you know. And to be honest, like my brother said, you're doing a very good job, and your heart is good. You know, on behalf of me personally, I just want to say thank you so much before I even go further and ask that question. So like we have other members here sitting here. Maybe some might be within the advisory council that don't have an NGO, and some are with the advisory council that have NGO like me. So in that capacity, like, you know, I just want to find out if to clarify for me, like, some of we work with children all our life, and if we trying to like bring some program, like for me, I serve New York and Liberia, and I want to bring a program serving youth in New York City. I mean, can you clarify for me?
Yeah, I'm going to be a little and I appreciate it. As the borough president, when I first got elected, I wanted to make sure that everyone felt I was their borough president. And just a bit of history here. There were some problems, and I'm going to be frank, and I know that the camera's on. Initially, when I was at Borough Hall, when I got to Borough Hall, there were problems with African Americans and West Africans. And one thing led to the other, and I started to find out that I knew absolutely nothing about the growth of the West African population in my borough. And the more I started to learn and the more I started to know, I started to see the amount of people in the borough that were here, all of the benefits that we receive from having them, businessmen and women, the diversity in West Africans, right? The fact that, you know, you come from so many different countries and so many different languages, and I had a sort of a relationship that started with some. So with that, I made a lot of friends in the African community, and so we felt that we should start a council now. I don't want a council in my office for every single community. You know, so everybody's like, oh, can we have a council? Can we have? No. You know, I don't want that either. But this is what, to me, this is a special case because of the growth, because of some misunderstandings that we have from many other people towards the West African community here, because of the diversity within the West African community in and of itself. And so the council for me is to try to continue to learn, to continue to understand the issues within the community in the Bronx. And we appreciate, you know, the council has done such a good job that people from other boroughs, and you're always welcome, and we appreciate it. But I have a lot of work to do here. We haven't even scratched the surface on the services that the West African community needs in the Bronx, let alone going to another borough, let alone going outside of the city of New York, let alone going to another country or another continent. To fight for, I know what issues to stay away from, you know, and your chairman has done a wonderful job of that. So I hope I did not disappoint you, but I don't think, and Mr. Chairman, I don't want to speak for the council, even though the council is equipped and putting out messages for many different things, but for me, and my resources, I don't have the luxury, I don't have the people outside of the Bronx just yet. Is that fair?
That's fair.
I'm being honest here. I'm trying to be clear here. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. Okay, one last question. One last question, then we gotta wrap this up.
By the way, one thing that fills my heart with joy is in the council as a whole. So I'm just going to ask a question.
Yeah, everyone has been so kind to you, so I'll be a little pushy.
All right.
Yeah, so congratulations on your achievements and all that you've done in the last 6 years.
Yes, sir.
But as a young African who grew up in the Bronx, and also very connected to the African American community as well, a lot of things have changed and improved, but there are still a lot of problems in many of the areas. I talked to a lot of youth who, for whatever reason, they ended up at the wrong place, wrong time, ended up they're trying to change their lives. They're trying to do bigger things. And even within the African community, the fact that a lot of the parents are not educated and they come from, they have a background of, as a cab driver, or there's a disconnect between the kids and the parents. So there's a lack of information. A lot of them have ambitions and dreams and they want to do things. But they don't know who to turn to or where to go, and they don't think someone like your office can actually help them. So, when they approach me and they tell me, you look like you did okay despite everything and you're doing better, what should I do? Who can I talk to? Who can help me? Like, how can the office here, how can your office help out?
Come with you to this council because they can network with professionals and adults within the community. But in my office, you have Tracy there, depending on the issue, right? We have different departments and different directors. So Tracy is here just to facilitate that. Tracy is here so that, and your chairman is here, so that if individually, for instance, you know of an elderly lady who needs help because she's not getting heat in her apartment, you could talk to your chairman, talk to members of your board, goes to Tracy, right down to, we could connect that lady, have her come in to the office on that department. If there's somebody who has a initial education, same thing. Police misconduct or policing issue, we have a director for that. Parks, we have somebody who takes care of that. Somebody who wants to start a business, we have the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, which helps them with everything from, so it's not a startup fund, with micro loans, with macro loans. If in order to get that, it has some things that you have to do. So for instance, a business plan. Some people have a great idea. Some people may have a good product. You may be the best baker on the planet. You know how to bake, you have a good product, but you don't know how to go about business. So they help you with the business plan so that you can get the necessary financing. They help you with location. If you're talking about mentoring, if you have a group of young folks, you put them together. I'll come by if whatever it is. If they just need a pep talk, if they need a mentor. So this is what this is about. This is about all of us using our resources and networking. So I think one of the things that you could start by is seeing if we get 1, 2 of them who can come to a meeting like this, and then go back to the rest of them and say, you know what? Maybe there is an avenue for us there. You can, but always feel free that as it pertains to constituent services, it doesn't matter if they are a citizen or not. My office is always here. I don't control everything. I know the title president sounds like it's very powerful. So the end result may not always be what the individual wants or is looking for, but it doesn't mean that we won't help them. We will always advocate and help them, but remember, sometimes we have to advocate to a city agency, a state agency, a federal agency that I may not control, but the office will always help them. And so always feel free, either as an individual or as a group. Brother, all you can do is ask. and we'll find the right director, the right unit to see where is it that we can help you. If it's about putting, 10, 15, 20 young folks together who need a pep talk, who, you think it may serve a purpose for them to have a dialogue with their borough president, I'm all for it. Okay?
Yes, thank you for being with
So let's do this. We're gonna start here and we go all along so we can all look at the camera, okay? We're gonna start with you there.
Yeah.
Let us know when you're done.
There you go.
Okay, next one. Okay, over here. Okay, Matthew.
All right, so I'm gonna start this way.
This is the panoramic. The panoramic photo. Wait, don't move.
Gotta go back.
Come on,
All right, we're starting on this side. I'm gonna go this way.
So hold your stomach and eat too much.
You got it?
Thank you. Congratulations all. Thank you. Look forward to working with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
But it's really, this is like the grassroots way of getting involved in your community. You can chime in on budget issues, land use issues, things that are impacting the direct everyday life, quality of life, dealing with all the city agencies, sanitation, parks, and everything else. So it's very important that we have more voices from the African community. I did a rough count. We have about 15 Africans on community boards now. I would like to see that improved, especially, I was looking at different communities where there's a large concentration of Africans. Ward 3 could use a couple more, Ward 4, Ward 5. So, I mean, Ward 5 even has the chairman is actually Dr. Bola, who is an African, who's part of the council. So, and they're also looking for, each board will have one youth board member, which is from 17 to 18, yeah. That's a great way to get them also plugged in. So if you know an outstanding youth that would really, it's a great thing for the resume, whether they're going to college, whether, when they move on, that they serve. So definitely make sure if you're interested in applying, do so, or speak to somebody who's interested. We're also doing our Martin Luther King Interfaith Service on January 18th at Trinity Baptist Church. The flyer's over here. It's a great event. He was a wonderful civil rights leader. He's the only non-elected official to have a day named after him, so we need to make sure that they have a saying, it's not a day off, it's a day on, because he was a person of service, so please come out to that if you're able to. And we have a Bronx Fathers Taking Action Committee that deals with our fathers. And one of they're having a meeting on health and wellness, and they're having a speaker from the University Behavioral Associates Program at Montefiore Medical Center. That's January 14th, next week, 6 to 8 p.m. here in this courthouse in this very room. So,
two quick things that we have coming up. One of them is very important. We just spoke about it. It's about job opportunities. So how do you start a job? We need a resume. We just spoke about it. And we're actually having a workshop on January 15th from 12 to 1:30 at our office, which is like 5 minutes away, 910 Grand Concourse. Also, every Thursday, we have a tenant support specialist who comes in and helps with housing issues, again, at our office from 11 to 3 o'clock. So if you have any such issues, please just come by our office. Also, if you have any other issues that are not related to housing, just pass by. We'll be willing to help you and sit down with you. So that's about it with announcements. And thank you.
What's the office number?
910 Grand Concourse.
Thank you.
Business office. I'm a community liaison. So first announcement, we're having a mini college in Main Street on the corner of Franklin Avenue. I have a whole bunch of flyers, so I'll pass it around as well as my business cards. We're also having a discretionary funding workshop. So everyone has been calling our office asking, you know, when is the budget going to be new? When can we apply? So we're having a workshop, and it's going to be held on January 21st, Thursday, January 21st from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And to RSVP, you just have to contact our budget director, who's Caitlin O'Hagan, and her email address as well as her contact number is on the flyer as well. So just feel free to shoot her an email or to call her to RSVP. As you may or may not know, we also have an immigration attorney who comes into our office once a week on Wednesdays from 10 to 5 p.m. So if you know anyone who's in need of any immigration services, citizenship, green card renewal, just have them call our office at 718-588-7500 to make an appointment. So it goes by appointment, it's not walk-in. So then you'll be given a time and date to come into our office to speak to the attorney.
Can you repeat the number?
Sure, 718-588-7500. And once again, I have a whole bunch of my business cards as well as the phone numbers are on all of the flyers.
Okay, thank you.
On Saturday, January 9th, I'm doing a workshop regarding youth violence. So I work for the D's office, right? I see the numbers. There is a prevalence of African youth violence going on. I see the numbers, I see the names, and I was able to talk to our crime strategy unit to do something about it. And it goes back to what the DP was saying. I'm using my office resources. We have to use our resources to help these young people. Because what I'm saying is not a good thing. If we don't intervene to do something about young people, few years from now, we might not have the next Charles Cooper, the next Lori, or the next African University Council. So I felt the need to really advocate on behalf of our youth to do something. And I applaud Coach Joe Wasada and Bawa, who are doing a lot of work with our African youth because we really need attention. We really do need attention. Consequences of criminal activities for young people who are already, because it's going to be a twofold. One is going to be a prevention strategy, and one is going to be an intervention strategy. Well, intervention is for folks who are already in the criminal justice system, right? How much can we do about that? Not a lot. But prevention for young people who don't really know why jumping the turnstile can put them in jail, who don't know that even getting on the bus without paying they can get arrested for. That's the prevention strategy. On Saturday at 2 o'clock, and I've sent this email out to all of the leadership within the African community, encouraging you to pay attention, to share it with your respective network, because I know what is going on. So on Saturday, we're going to have this workshop. We're going to educate the young people who are in trouble, who are getting in trouble, who are on the bad path, quote-unquote bad path, and young people who are very passionate about success, because we're going to have resources. For the 5 years I've been in the DA's office, every year I recruit Africans in our internship program. About 40 Africans we hire every year in the Aac Board internship program, and these are paid internships. Yeah, you can call it prejudice, but I know that they need that, because if I'm not there, no one is going to look out for them. Right. All right? I don't hire them. I interview them and hire them and make sure that they are part of that 40 interns that we get every year. So I'm doing my part, and I think we all need to do our part. So please encourage the young people to come on Saturday. We're going to have free backpacks, book bags, pens, water bottles as an incentive for young people. All of these, I just incentivizing them, but I think the goal is to educate them. So please take copy of the flyer and share with respective networks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. First office, I came to a meeting before, and I'm sorry I had to miss December, but I am here now. Just a few quick little updates, and first a disclaimer. So I know there's a few folks here that have contacted me about a few things. Feel free to do that again. I know folks have questions about getting support letters for their organizations, and I still haven't gotten an answer, so feel free to contact me again if there's an issue that I should follow up on, because I'm honest in that kind of way. Some people wouldn't say anything, but I will. And then the second thing that I wanted to talk about is in our office, we have created immigration manuals in different languages for different populations. It was brought to our attention that there was no French translated manual for folks to be able to understand or be able to maneuver. So last month, I think it was, we actually released the French translation to the immigration manual. So I don't have that many. Thank you. I like when people laugh. So I only have a few copies, but if folks can email me, I can just send it to you because I also have an electronic version. So like I told that person and I told the other folks, when you want something done, you have to make sure you advocate for your community. Just saying it once, people, even if I think it's great and important, I still have to make sure that I can say if the community wants this, it's not just my idea or his idea or her idea, but the community is in need of something like this and it's very important. So like I said, I have a few, and I'll put it down here. So whoever takes it. And I don't have any more, so don't ask me if I do, because they're heavy. But what I can do too, if there is a way also that I can...
Let's don't, just hold on to the books.
It's too late for that.
That's fresh.
It's too late for that now. But, and also, yeah, I can send it to folks and it can be disseminated, because if you don't get it now, we have a lot in our office, and like I said, we also have it in an electronic version. And then what I also wanted to mention is that we're preparing a meeting for folks that work giving financial literacy to the community or will pass on tools. So if anyone in this room does something like that, what I mean by financial literacy is just helping people not only manage their money, but especially folks that are new to the country may not know how banks may work in this country or may not trust banks, right? And banks are a way for people to accumulate wealth. So what I want to make sure is that there's a program that we are conducting. It's called Take It to the Bank. It's an online portal, and I work in the Bronx, but I work in community boards 1 and 2, where there are not many banks, so people just use check cashing places. So we want to make sure that we talk about options that people have, but also too for people to be able to do that themselves and say, I want to bank with this bank because I can wire, I'm Dominican, so we wire money to Dominican Republic, right? I want to make sure that I can send money to my family in a more affordable way in another country. What bank does that for free or does it cheaper? And you can make a wiser decision. So if anyone here, and this is not right now, because I know we're not done. So after the meeting is done, if anyone in this room does stuff like that, or at least can pass on that information to another group, because we want to have a small meeting with folks so that they can disseminate that information, please let me know. And I have a lot of cards. The first time I came, I had like 5. Now I have a lot more. So feel free to contact me. The meeting is next week.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
A quick announcement before we move on to the VP report and the committee reports. There's, for AAC members, there's a sign-in sheet that's being passed around. Please make sure to sign it. If you don't sign it, you'll be marked absent. So please, just a quick note to sign it. Moving on, our first report will be from our Vice Chair.
Personally congratulated, everybody on the board, all the new elected members, and I also want to thank my sister, for doing a good job, for her tenure as the vice chair of the AAC, and I hope that I continue her work ethic and basically continue working for the community, basically. And I also pledge to support the current chair, and I plan on working with him and unifying the board, making sure that we serve the community. It's not self-service. We're not here to work for ourselves. We're here to work for the community and represent the community and be a voice for the community, basically. So hopefully that will be able to do that during my tenure. So I just want to thank everybody. That's it.
One of them is we brought on board our assistant secretary, Mariama, who actually can't be here today because she needs a babysitter. The other is, which the Bronx Borough President touched on, we will be starting a networking event, essentially getting the resumes for the Bronx Borough President's office. So.
Yeah. And just to add on to that point, one of the things we realized was a lot of us, we come here, but we don't know each other outside of the council meetings. And a lot of us are doing a lot of dynamic things in the community, and we need to learn about these things. And the best way to learn about it is...
Let me turn this off. Go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
And the best way to learn about it is in a more social environment. So what we're gonna start doing is, with the help of our secretaries, we're gonna start putting together different mixers for the community, for the council members, that we can all come together in a more, in a less formal setting. And just learn about each other and learn what's happening in the community. And I think what happens with that, it builds a strong community. So that's what we're looking to do. Thank you, Secretary. Next report is from our social committee, Ambrose.
Thank you, Chairman. A few things that I just wanted to stress on is that we cannot be on the side, just keep complaining. We need to be part of it. And being part of it is being part of the grassroots of granted in the Lincoln Hospital Board. I seem to be the only one there. And my responsibility to make sure I represent our community. And these are kind of things. There's also a community advisory board, which I'm also part of, just been appointed in. We need to make the change. We need to be part of the group to make the change. And for my past couple of years being in corporate board in this city, I noticed that we always think that the mayor makes decisions. We make decisions for our community, whether you like it or not. From housing to anything else, we on the board that make decisions. There is not any of these buildings out here that you see built there that take place without coming to the board. We have to approve it before it goes on. So I learned a lot from that. So I encourage all of us to be part of those things. I also had a meeting with the District 7 Chancellor in the Bronx here. Really, our African community is not represented in that board also. And what I noticed is that in the past is in the school board, there is no cultural sensitivity in terms of African kids. In the school, they're more likely to send our kid to see for punishment because the teacher did not understand the child. In this country, when the parent talks to you, you look in the eye. In Africa, you look in the eye, you disrespectful. This is a big difference. If they don't know that, they will always tell that our child don't respect them. But we're not used to looking to the adult eye when they're talking to us. These are basic things. So the meeting that I had with a chancellor, and I insisted, so we're going to be forming a group, an advisory group, which our parents, us here, we should be part of that kind of environment. Because our children are in school, we also need to be part of the school. We should not just drop the kid to school and walk away. We need to attend the PTA meeting. Not just sit there like a dummy, we need to be part of it. As a result of that, one of the things that came about was they are going to create continuing education in District 7, which one of my recommendations was to be not just for GED, but just simple communication. Because a lot of our parents that comes here, they don't need to go have a GED, but they need to learn how to go buy a metro car. They don't need to know this basic communication skill, which is how you doing. We have a parent that have been around here for a long time that don't speak. Because every time they talk about school, people just want to put them in a GED class. So these are kind of things that being part of the community, we can be able to make the changes. And I'm telling you right now is that this is one of the changes that really I'm proud of, and I think we should all be part of that in our community. You don't sit back and just let things change by itself. We are the ones to make a change in our community. And I can't stress any longer on this. And this is one thing that we should all walk out of this place say, hey, I live in a neighborhood and also the precinct council. We complain about the police, but the police does not make decision. We help them make decision. Actually, this coming Tuesday at Lincoln Hospital, there's a big event. The police, the community, the police is changing the way they act now. They want to deal with the community. So they want to pick some member of the community that will be working side by side with precinct. Local precinct, know your community advisor, know your commissioner, the CEO of your precinct. So they can be able to come straight to you. And the only way we're going to do this is being part of the process. So please, I'm asking this again. We are African. We know how to go to work, go to school, go to Western Union, send money. These are the things we do best. But we don't know how to look on the side what is going on around us. And the best, we're here to stay. I don't know about you, but until I buy my airline ticket to go back, I'm still here.
New Governance and Bylaws Committee,
Hello everyone. First, I will congratulate the new team, the chair and Richard for the community liaison who's not here, and Angela that actually had the opportunity to talk a bit. What I'm going to be doing now is mainly, when you have a structure and the structure is growing, as we growing, and like the chair stated that you have more community, regulation, so that way for the new people that are coming in, they find something already in place. So it's going to be, my work will be more about, finding a way to have good practice, the way we're making the decision, and also updated our bylaws, so because we're growing, we have to actually work on that, to see from its inception to where we are now, what we need to add or amend in our bylaws. But furthermore, my work will be also making policy recommendations to the Bronx Borough Office. And I think, the VP, Ruben Diaz, has been talking about that a lot. One of the things that we don't do is mainly, advocate for our community. We know the issues in our community, but we don't put them in paper and start advocating for that. It's like really, okay, this is the issue that we're facing. And those are the
problem would be, looking forward to those housing that will be provided. Also, we'll be looking for finances, investment finances of government. It's not only putting the money in the bank or create a business. There's a lot of component down to the finance. Businesses, we have a lot of businesses here in the borough, like the Bronx borough. They just said it, Bronx is growing with the African, and people are opening businesses everywhere. We want them to make sure that they sustain the economy, the U.S. economy, and make sure that, when you open a business, it's for long term, it's not like for 45 days or maybe 2 months or 3 months. We make sure that we get in touch with the borough president office, the economic direction, so they can help us put some workshop together to help our communities. That's what I have for you, and then we'll be looking forward to working with the region from next. Yes, thank you.
At this time, we'll hear from our Arts and Culture Committee Chair, Linda Obasi, and her Secretary, Yama. Please, bring her up to the floor.
Hey, you guys.
Things are here, me and the chairman, we decided that, all the chairmen of the committees, they must submit the vision for their committees. Like, where would you want to take the committees, like a year from now, 2 years from now? So maybe we can do that during the next meeting, like submitting a vision for your particular committee.
And I'm glad Maureen brought up. Thank you, Maureen. So for the chairs and the vice chairs and the co-chairs, and we're going to have an executive board meeting. Thank you. Good to be transparent. Interfaith Committee, Dr. Baldi.
Good evening. Actually, in this month of December, we have several imams.
People can hear you.
We have several meetings with several imams in this borough. The first one was on December. We have more than 15 imams with Ms. Vanessa Gibson. The chief of all Bronx Borough Police Chief with his commando, ask the imams what's going on in their district, what's going on in their community. The most problem comes up is the problem what Joseph Ahmed raised. We losing most of our children, going to the jail, doing what they weren't supposed to do. So they have asking every imam to lay down the problem they have in different communities. Second one, we have another meeting with the Office of the Public Advocate in the same area, meeting several imams also, talking about immigration, what we can do for our community, our people, what is resources available. The third one is the end of, we have celebration of the end of Ebola in Guinea on the 29th of this month. So I was, they invite me as member of the African Advisory Council. So I give a little speak about how we feel. He thanks them for the help they have been giving to all these three countries. We have several folks who live here, go to the country work, some of them still there. They also, I always try to give information about our meeting here to the folks I work with. That's why we have my colleague from Health Department who come always here to give.
It's growing, and please support them however you can. Thank you. Last but not least, we have the Young Men's Initiative led by Coach and Siddiqui. Please.
Everybody understand what we have been going through. A few days ago, there was a guy, an African guy that was driving a taxi that was beaten by a couple of guys in the process of dropping them off to their birth destination. And the picture is so terrible, I don't want to do it to the chairman when they post it on the website and to everybody. It's so near to the extent that it hurt. Well, there has been no system put in place for him right now. They only seek refuge home. That's the one thing he's doing. So I came to the chairman earlier on today so we can do something. Anybody can see faculty, see how. So you make sure you come to meeting every time you meeting about the initiative so we can move forward. Coach, so if the coach has something, he can come up.
Yeah, all that is about you, what he's saying. We the members of the community, we have to concentrate about our new youth that we used to bring them in Africa. They look at their style of life living here now is different. So what we plan, him, and the boy, we have